What up, guys? Mad Viking here. I'm back. I've been missing a few days. I won't get into it right now. This is a wrestling news update. Some of this is old, a lot of it's new. I should have done this a while ago on most of it, but let's just jump into it right now. XFL scores really high ratings for week one. They peaked at 4 million at one point for the season opener game. I can't remember who it is. They even had a sellout for that game too. I don't know what to think of this because I remember 20 years ago when it debuted, I think they scored like 18 million viewers on their season opener game because people were curious, and that's what this is about. Well, obviously they didn't score higher than 4. I think their average was 3.3 million. Their peak was at 4. But that's still good ratings in this day and age, so maybe there's going to be a life for the XFL. Blue Meanie was at one of the games, and he even tweeted out, I think he was tweeting out it was a sellout, and that the merch stands were just wrapped around the block. So I guess that's good news for Vince. Rocky Johnson dies at 75. It did come out because he lived here somewhere in Florida, Davie, Florida. I think he had a blood clot and he was sick. But there was supposed to be some, some drama at the funeral between like Vince and Pat Patterson. Pat Patterson was calling him a son of a bitch or something, literally standing over his casket, and Vince was swearing or something during his eulogy. I never really heard anything else about it, but I would think that would have pissed The Rock off to no end. RVD's sex celebration might have gotten Impact banned from Twitch. I still don't know if they're on Twitch again because I don't watch Twitch, but I did see the RVD sex celebration. It was eventually pulled from YouTube because it was basically porn. RVD is it's his character, obviously, but I mean, this chick he's with is just disgusting, and I don't know what to think of it. But now there's another girl added into it too. But he basically had a sex celebration that got Impact pulled from Twitch. Okay, well, AEW New Japan partnership, supposedly, just like over here. Where did I see it? Oh, that's another one. To announce partnership in 2020. Well, that's yet to be announced, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. Kalisto, fresh from his 90-day release, showed up at New Japan and won the middleweight title. He also showed up at a AAA show, still calling himself... not Kalisto. Was it Kalisto? No. What the hell was his name? Maybe it was Kalisto. I don't know. But he showed up in AAA and he was still using his WWE name, and that was supposed to get him some heat. Both Bellas announced they are 2 months pregnant, or both pregnant, and they are only 2 months apart. Cody and Dustin Rhodes win the Match of the Year PWI award for, obviously, their All-In match. No, it was Double or Nothing. All right. WWE giving up on the network, possibly selling their pay-per-view rights. There's rumors it's going to go to the Peacock, which is going to be Universal ABC. I think it's really weird for them to do. I don't know why they would abandon the network. It's not like they need the money. The Saudis, I think, are pretty much floating them, but that'll be a shocker if they start selling off their pay-per-views. Killer Kross and Timothy Thatcher signed to the WWE. It was pretty much given that Kross was going to show up there eventually, but I think he was playing both sides. I'm sure he was contacting AEW too. And the rumor is he's not even going to be in NXT. He's going to just shoot up to the main roster. We'll see. 2021 Mania will be in LA, in the stadium of the home of the new LA Rams and the Chargers. And they possibly can break the Mania record because this new stadium for events like wrestling events will be able to hold up to 100,000 plus people. So when they bring up WrestleMania 3 records, now they actually can have a record where they broke almost 100,000, 100,000. Tamnari Conti walks out of NXT over a contract dispute, even cleans out her locker. But I mean, it doesn't mean she's gone. But she's putting on a good show. Brody King re-signs with Ring of Honor, which is cool, I guess, since Skrull did. He's going to stick with his clanmate. New Japan to run Summer Show in Madison Square Garden, possibly later opening the door for AEW to do the same. Teddy Hart and Davey Boy Jr. Smith have both been seen. Well, Teddy's been seen at AEW. He was even on TV. He's been seen at NXT house shows. Apparently, he was at one that I was at because somebody told me, but I didn't see him. But I did see Davey Boy Smith Jr. at a NXT show a few months back. Obviously, they're looking for work. I think Teddy was released from MLW. I don't know about Davey Boy Jr., but I mean, nobody's announced their signings. I will say this, though. Davey Boy is very lean and I wouldn't say skinny, but he's very, I don't know, he's not thick anymore. Gay porn services starring Lars Sullivan. Don't know what to think of that, but I've seen not the actual gay part, but I've seen the part leading up to it. And I don't know. He seemed to be enjoying it. Somebody said he was receiving, not giving, but still, what are you doing? And he had that controversy about all the gay comments he had not too long ago. So it's kind of weird. Was he broke at the time? I mean, let me see. Oh, Alberto Del Rio loses his first MMA fight to Tito Ortiz in first round record time. I don't remember what it is. Rock and Roll Express recently won the NWA Tag Team titles, beating the Wild Cards. They have since lost them to Eli Drake and James Storm. At the time, they were 63 and 61. Ricky 63, Robert 61. They are on record now as the oldest tag team champions, and they had a total of 41 tag team title reigns from all the companies they were in. Jim Cornette sues wrestler G Raver for selling an F Cornette t-shirt because it had his likeness on it. He asked the guy to stop selling it. He didn't stop selling it, so he sued him. Haven't heard anything else about it. New Japan is leaving Access TV. I guess they were pressured by the owners of Access to have a partnership with Impact, obviously to help Impact and increase their ratings. And they said F you, so they got kicked off the network. I don't know if they're off of it yet. That sucks because I was going to get Access because that's where Impact is now, and that, what is it, WOW Women of Wrestling. And it was pretty cool. New Japan was there, but now they're gone. Ex-TNA Tag Champ Apollo to debut in MMA versus John Calloway, who is 0-3. I remember Apollo, man. That's the early days. I would think he's a little bit old to be debuting in MMA at this point. Yeah, it was Edge reportedly signs contract for in-ring return, which we now know is true, and he was denying it at the time. I believe it's for $3 million a year, which was a matched offer that AEW offered him for only 5 matches a year and 25 appearances. That's why he's already off of TV. Report that Chris Statlander was very close to signing with WWE, but AEW offered more, and she went with them because she didn't want to go to NXT. She wanted the instant TV stardom. So AEW scored with her. Sting versus Undertaker being kicked around for Mania. I would think if this is happening, we'd be already getting something for it, but let us see. Luke Harper. Yeah, this is old. Sin Cara, that's who I was talking about before, not Kalisto, Sin Cara. Sin Cara, Luke Harper, and Ascension released from WWE. I think donuts of dollars, it's going to be a sure thing that Harper shows up in AEW. I believe he's supposed to debut in March in his hometown when they run that city. People were like, oh, they're excited to reset the Ascension too because of the ties with Cody, but I don't see it happening. And Sin Cara is busy elsewhere. He won't be signed. Jimmy Uso found not guilty in his July DUI arrest by jury. Dominic Mysterio set for in-ring debut in 2020. Stephanie is pushing for AJ Lee and CM Punk in-ring return. Good luck with that. Ronda Rousey return confirmed, but when and for how long? Yeah, Killer Cross released from Impact. Yep, I'm getting into the old stuff. Mysterio says he wants a match with Dominic before he retires. His contract ends in 2020. Street Profits sign a contract extension. No word on what it's worth or how long, but I'm sure it's big money. Vince being sued by stockholders for allegedly using WWE funds to fund the XFL. Not a shocker. I mean, that and the McMahons have been selling off stock for the last few years, I think, probably preparing for this. So who knows how that's going to go. Yeah, here's what I was talking about before. Sin Cara violates the non-compete clause by showing up at AAA and takes on a job as Director of International Development in the Premier League for the Wolves in Europe. I forgot about that. PCO is the Ring of Honor champion. I don't know if he still is. I just watched Ring of Honor last night and he was on it. Defeating Roosh. Yeah, that was in December 13th, final battle. Booker T upset with the NWO Hall of Fame induction with only the 4 entrants. I don't think he's mad because he's not in it, even though he was only in the NWO and the WWE for like a cup of coffee. But I'm sure he's upset that it's going to be like, Hogan, Hall, Nash, and X-Pac. Joey Ryan versus Grimm. Oh, I didn't hear... Yeah, I haven't heard any... I guess, yeah, because I'm not really watching his channel anymore. Joey Ryan versus Grimm, January 26th. It already happened in Maryland. So I guess if you're interested to see what happened there, you'll have to go look for it. I'm sure it's on Grimm's channel. Billy Gunn, full-time return to form team with Sun. They trademarked the Gun Club. I think they've already debuted on AEW Dark, but obviously I haven't seen them on the main roster show. Andrade and Flair engaged to marry. And apparently he barely even speaks English. Austin Aries in talks to go to AEW and feud with Cody. Yeah, they need somebody like Austin Aries. He supposedly has a rep. I mean, most of those guys, if he really is supposed to be hard to work with, most of those guys have worked with him in Ring of Honor. But, I mean, they need some fresh talent. I mean, supposedly Brian Cage has been signed. Luke Harper supposedly on the way, but they still need some more people. But Austin Aries, I love Austin Aries. I think he'd be great for AEW. Harlem Heat to return at Royal Rumble and fight the Revival. That obviously didn't happen. The Revival still hasn't signed contracts. Kiera Zane and what's her name? Io Shirai, unhappy with WWE. Stardom has been contacting them, offering them big-time money deals to return. Shirai is engaged to Evil in New Japan, and if you live here in America, I really doubt she sees her fiance all that often, if ever. And I don't know. That's probably why Kiera Zane got the tag team title soon after this was reported. But I would think Kiera Zane ain't going anywhere. I'm sure she's signed a recent contract. Oh, and Shirai's deal was also she's making less money than she made in Japan, and she wants more money. That was another dispute. MLW to get a TV deal. Don't know where. I never heard anything else about it. WWE has no current plans. Well, they're starting this at the time. They didn't, and it was released that they had no current plans. I think they've only kind of maybe got 1 or 2 set up so far, which isn't a good sign either way. WWE signs Mercedes Martinez. I don't know why AEW didn't sign her. That's their fault. I guess they didn't think WWE was interested in her, which I'm sure they weren't, but she was showing up on AEW TV, not under contract, so of course they stole her away. And she's 39 years old. Matt Hardy supposedly to go to AEW, lead the Dark Order. It's funny though, because Marty Scurll contract was over in Ring of Honor. He was supposed to be he was supposed to debut December, whatever it was, on AEW, and he was going to be the leader of the Dark Order. But of course, Ring of Honor supposedly threw him WWE money, gave him the book. He's the booker now, head booker over Delirious, and he's also allowed to wrestle in other companies. He's in NWA. He just showed up on New Japan, but it'll be interesting. I don't know that I like Matt Hardy, if this is true, leading the Dark Order. I mean, that fat guy, I would assume, is the leader to begin with. I thought the Dark Order's fine. I don't know. It'll give him something to do, I guess. Yeah, I just mentioned Marty Scurll. Bandito resigns with Ring of Honor, which is a big deal, too. AAA's La Parka died at 56. He died. He did some sort of a dive at a pay-per-view or something, had a match, and he got caught up in the ropes, and he basically landed on his head and neck, and he laid in the hospital in a coma or something for months. He showed some sign of improvement, but I guess he didn't make it. He died in his sleep or something. Now, of course, this is not La Parka from WCW. This is the guy that beat him for, I don't know, the La Parka name in AAA. But either way, that's another guy, a little too old to still be wrestling, but rest in peace. Marty, I already said that one. Sergeant Slaughter accused of fake valor. I vaguely remember this coming out when I was a kid, but people didn't care, and obviously people don't care now. I mean, the time that people have on that can just find shit, they found an old news article on the internet and dragged this up. I don't know why. But apparently he's not really a Marine, or they can't find any record of him being a Marine, and I guess he used to say he was a Marine. I don't recall him ever saying that. He was just playing a character, and I think that's how most people look at it. I mean, nobody was staring at the Berserker and really thinking he was a Viking. I mean, let's see. I already mentioned Brian Cage supposedly has signed with AEW, but this was, I don't know how long ago. His last match was at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view for Impact. He still hasn't shown up. His wife, I can't remember her name, denies it. Elias signs a new multi-year contract extension, doesn't say for how long or for what. Big news for AEW. They signed a new 3-year TV deal with a second show in the works. I don't know if that's going to be AEW Dark. I believe it's worth $45 million a year or something. So their money woes, they're already in the green no matter what. David Benoit to wrestle as Chris Benoit Jr., and I reported, I think, on my last Wrestling News report that he was under the wing tutelage of Chris Jericho. Do I think this is a good idea? No. You don't have to say Chris Benoit Jr. If you want to use the Benoit name, you could still use the Benoit name and not say Jr. or Chris. It's just going to bring too much controversy and drama on you, and unless you're a hell of a wrestler, I don't think it's going to do you any good. But I guess we'll see. He was recently banned from WWE visits or backstage because he was showing up in AEW merch, but apparently that was all worked out and he's allowed backstage again. I do scratch my head, other than Natalia, who the hell is he going to visit anyway there? But anyways, guys, that is it for now. I thought this would go a lot longer. I did kind of shoot through it because I had 2.5 pages of stuff here. But I will have my AEW show lineup for tomorrow. I will get that out tomorrow. I missed it last week because I was really under the weather. I was not feeling well. I went to the hospital last week. And you can tell my voice isn't the normal sounding voice that I usually have. It's a little lower. I got some medication. I'll just leave it at that. I'm having further tests done in March. But I had a scary moment. They told me it was a panic attack. I don't know if it was or not, but I'm feeling a lot better than what I did. So I think I'm out of the woods now, but I had a scary last week. So that's all how I'll leave it. But yeah, I'll have my AEW prediction or show lineup tomorrow. Wednesday will be the mall show. And as I try to clean up my mess here, I keep saying it, I'll have something. I think I'll have something because right now I'm kind of homebound. I'm not going anywhere. And I can start making videos again. Like, I had it so bad I couldn't even get out of bed a few days ago. So, like, yeah, I went to last week's mall show, but the next day I was in the tank again. I was just totally spent. I felt all right enough to go to that show, and then I had health issues again. So right now I'm feeling good. All is well. I mean, if you can see my arm, that's where they drew blood from me in the hospital, and that's a huge bruise on my arm. Today, when I went and they drew blood again, you can't even see it. But that's my proof. That's where they drew blood from my vein, and I'm all scarred up from it. But anyways, guys, I'm rambling. Hit like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully I feel better because I want to go to the New Japan show on WrestleMania week. I still have yet to buy tickets because I started feeling under the weather. Hopefully the seats that I bought for Impact are still open too. But I think that's what I'm doing. I'm just passing on WrestleMania this year because, one, It was a lot of money to be comfortable in good seats, and I'm going to 3 shows and spending not what I would spend to go to WrestleMania. Maybe enjoy the show. If it wasn't 7 or 8 hours, I think I would do it. And I think Dean, Christian, and Justin are going to be a little disappointed if we don't run into each other. But I mean, Mania will be probably my only free day of that week. I don't know how long any of them are going to be in my area. I mean, one day I got to go to Lakeland for Ring of Honor. The next day I got to go to Ybor for Impact. And if I buy the New Japan show, that is either before or after one of those shows. I don't know. It'll be 3 days straight of big shows. And if I go to the Punk Pro Wrestling shows, which are going to be a few days earlier before that, I mean, I'm running around. But I have yet to buy the Punk Pro shows because I don't even know what the lineup is. I was looking at Evolve shows, but I believe the Evolve shows are running on the Ring of Honor day. They had 2 days, and I think the other one runs on the Impact day. And granted, there'd be some names there that I want to see, but I'd rather go to Ring of Honor and Impact. I haven't been to an Impact show in 10 years, and it's been about a year. It's been a year since I've been to a Ring of Honor show. So that is it for now, guys. I really mean it this time. Hit like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the notification button so you don't miss any future content. And I will see you on the next one, which will be tomorrow. Keep an eye out for the AEW show. Thanks.